To the Blue Byron Books podcast. I am joined by
Hi.
Sophia, all
Hi.
the way in Michigan. You're actually like probably the closest one to me, I feel like, that I've talked to in a while.
Really?
Where in Michigan are you right now?
I'm in Midland, Michigan. It's a little bit near the beginning of the thumb.
That's such a Michigan thing to do is hold out your hand like a mitten.
Yeah. Everybody I know does it.
I know like in Chicago, living in Chicago, when people would say they're from Michigan, they would always bring that out. And then I would always bring up that the hand looks almost more similar to Wisconsin in a way.
That's almost offensive. Because Michigan's the mitten.
It's true, but like the hand, like you got Green Bay right here. I don't know. Then you comp for Northern Michigan up here.
Yeah, like if you put the UP up there with your other hand.
How's summer going?
It's going great. Very busy, very hot today.
Yeah, it's a little muggy over here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty gross out, but it's supposed to be thunderstorming like the rest of the week. So it's always Michigan weather, though. It does whatever it wants.
Yeah, it's early evening and it's about to rain. You can like sense it.
When
It's
you
a
can
little
kind of smell the
darker.
ozone.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. The other day, last week, it rained in Wisconsin. I don't know if it was like this for you guys. The month of April was the wettest month on record for Wisconsin.
Really?
May was the driest month on record in Wisconsin. Isn't that crazy?
That's really. Weather is
Yeah.
so weird because there's the whole saying like April showers bring May flowers,
Yeah.
but you never account for it. It rained all the time here in May. So like
Yeah.
it wasn't
Nothing
dry
here.
here, it was a mess.
Yeah. And then last Friday, we got 2 inches of rain, and just stepping outside, you could feel nature exhaling,
Mhm.
like just refreshed. And I took a walk in the woods, and it was like the most magical experience. I just loved it so much. I was just outside like all day. I loved it. Even though the sun wasn't out, it was just like, oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
because the air always feels like so crisp and clean after it rains.
Yeah.
It's very refreshing.
And that summer, it memory hits a lot with scent and just to like smell the air
Mhm.
when it's warm, it like reminds me I haven't smelled that in a year. Like when it
Right?
was last summer, right?
Like it's a smell your body knows, but it's
Yeah.
been so long that like it takes a minute to register too. Like you walk outside and it's just like, wait a minute, I missed this smell so much.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't think about it until you like it
Right?
goes through you. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's get into it.
Okay.
Sophia, first briefly introduce yourself for listeners and viewers.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sophia Vinegar. I'm 20 years old. I go to Saginaw Valley State University in Michigan. I live in Midland, Michigan. I'm a writer currently working on a piece for Blue Byron Books.
Yeah.
What else? What else
What
should I say?
genre?
What genre? It's fantasy. It's more like young adult fantasy. Uh, I'm focusing more on like the magic of the world than um, like anything else. I think the magic is my favorite part of writing. Just I get to create a whole different system of how it works. It's kind of like science when it's in a book.
I'm energized to have some fantasy in the catalog. This will be our
Yeah,
first one. That'll be cool.
really.
Yeah.
That's so
Um,
fun.
I think it's yeah, yeah. I think yeah. What got you interested in books and writing in the first place?
I've actually been writing my entire life. I've always loved to be creative and having a creative outlet, whether it was drawing, writing, coloring, creating things. It's writing is just a great way to do that too. I get to create an entire world with anything I want to include in it. I get to build something from the ground up, characters, the magic, any conflict, every little detail I can do. It's all from my head, and it's just so interesting and cool to me that I can pull something out of my head and write about it and share it with other people.
Do you have what are three books that have influenced you most?
I would say number one would be Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. It's the world building of it is just so interesting with how magic is like locked away, how the main character moves through the world as a criminal, and how she gets her life back. It's so interesting. And then the Percy Jackson books by Rick Riordan, those are the books that like I still think about. I still go back and I reread them occasionally, even though I'm a lot older now than when I read them when I was probably 10. But those are the books that got me into reading really because and I couldn't put them down when I started them. They're so amazing and he's such a great author. And then probably Six of Crows. It's a fantasy heist novel. It's by Leigh Bardugo, and the characters of it with their backstories and everything about them, it felt so real. They were very fleshed out. You could understand their fears, their desires, their hopes and dreams. Like you could really feel that about the characters, and it's one of my absolute favorites.
Who wrote the Percy Jackson? Rick, what's his last name?
Rick Riordan or Riordan.
Riordan.
Mhm.
Is he still writing in that series or is that series done?
He has recently started writing a few more Percy Jackson books of to continue on of Percy Jackson as like he's older now. He's around my age. I think he's in college. He has pulled back into the universe of like questing and danger and monsters. And I know he recently picked that up a few years ago.
Do you think it's going to be any good?
I do. I haven't read it yet, but I really want to. I have so many other books on my to be read pile that I haven't gotten to it yet.
So he's
But
put the
I
new
do
stuff
want to.
out.
Yes, I think there are two books out right now of the new series.
Okay.
Hmm.
Interesting.
But yeah,
Huh. Is there a book that you continually return to?
it would probably be Throne of Glass, the entire series, really, but the first book especially, because of the way that it's just written. I mentioned it before. It's by Sarah J. Maas. The series is so interesting, and the characters, I adore them. They're so interesting, and I love that they're not like the most perfect characters. They're really well written, but they have so many flaws, and they're very fleshed out rather than just being like these do-gooder heroes that you see in a lot of writing. They have issues, they have problems, they fail, they get through it, and it's very interesting that the main character too is she's an unconventional hero. She's a criminal, and she starts out as kind of a coward, and she has to work through all these things to gain back her freedom and to meet people around her, to have friends rather than just enemies.
Hmm.
The series is so emotionally complex as well. It I went through like a million different thoughts while reading it. It was one of those books where you could try to guess where it was going and you would usually be wrong because there was always a really amazing plot twist.
Hmm. She I think was the best-selling author of like 2024.
I think yeah, so like she's very popular. I think A Court of Thorns and
Yeah.
Roses is the most popular by her, but I
Yeah.
prefer Throne of Glass.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely a market for that.
Hmm.
It's very popular. Yeah, Sarah J. Maas. Do you, when you are reading, are you paying more attention to ideas, the language, the feelings? Like, what is kind of what you look for, or what stands out to you?
I think the most interesting, like the most that I look for in a novel would be feeling and ideas for it. The way that the book makes me feel is what keeps me invested typically. If I'm going to be bored reading it, I don't, I will probably put it down and come back to it way later. But I try to find books that make me either like really sad, really excited, like so invested I can't put it down. Something that'll make me feel like I'm going through the same thing as the characters and I get to like view the world around them alongside them. I get to see their quests, their struggles, everything they try to do, and I feel like I it's best when I get to be part of that because of the emotional journey kind of pulls you in a little bit more, I think.
What's on your summer reading list right now?
Um uh Currently I'm reading the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. It's a spin-off of Caraval by Stephanie Garber.
Hmm.
It's it's kind of like an Alice in Wonderland vibe, and
Okay.
it's very, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a wonderful series. It really like pulls you in with the characters and then the world building of it because of the way they have these deities that the deities turn out to be the bad guys, and it's, I'm not describing it very well, but it's very Alice in Wonderlandy, very Coraline. I love the series, so I started reading Once Upon a Broken Heart, the spinoff for it, this summer. I'm on the first book, I'm like halfway through. But I also have a couple other books to read this summer. I recently got um, the Heated Rivalry series because my sister told me she really loved them.
That's
To
really
read it
popular
with
right now in
her.
culture,
Yeah.
yeah.
Kind of embarrassing to admit, but yeah, I have those to read this summer, and I really want to get back into the Six of Crows series because I loved the books that are out, and then there was a series that's in the same universe but with different characters I need to read. Rule of Wolves and those books. So those are also on my list for the summer.
So how fast of a reader are you?
It usually depends on how invested in the book I am. But I am a pretty fast reader. I get through a book that, like, if I'm very invested in it, I'll get through it in probably 3 or 4 days.
Jeez, that's fast.
Yeah, I got through the new Hunger Games book, Sunrise at the Reaping, in 2 days.
That one's kind of small though.
Yeah,
That's
that
probably
one
like
I
what,
think is only like,
250?
I think it's like 400.
Oh, the hardcover one?
Let me look that up. I don't remember. I thought it was a little bit longer. It's 382 to 400 pages, depending
Wow.
on whether it's paperback or hardcover. Yeah,
Oh,
I read
okay.
that all day for until I finished it.
I'm going through so we put out literary classics
Hmm.
and we redesigned them um what we call rich editions.
Hmm.
So we design them and then I read through it and then I write an introduction and do like rich lines. I love when I'm reading, I love to like underline interesting lines. Like not even it doesn't have to be full sentences, but just like lines where you get inside the mind of the author and you just there's like a appreciation for the language and the word
Yeah,
choice um and right now I'm on Dracula. We're doing Dracula Rich Edition and it's like 500 plus pages.
that's
And
a
I'm
lot.
a slow reader. And so it's like it's been taking a couple of weeks to go through it. Um, but what you're saying is you can knock it out in 2 days.
Yeah, if it's a book that I'm like really interested in. But I think Dracula has like it's older, so it's got like older language as well too, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not as modernistic. So it
I
must be a
feel
little
like
bit more difficult too.
I feel like I feel like Pride and Prejudice was the most difficult one,
Really?
language wise, because it's like Bram Stoker wrote Dracula, or it came out in 1897, whereas Pride and Prejudice, I think, was like 18.
Yeah, that it
Uh,
was a
was it
long time.
1824?
It's aristocratic language as well, I believe.
Yeah, it's like that romantic era.
Mhm.
Let's see. Pride and Prejudice. This is another big one. 1813.
Wow, it's a long time ago.
So Dracula's gonna be like this.
Oh yeah. How
That'll
many
be good
pages?
though.
How many oh my gosh, sorry. How many pages is Pride and Prejudice?
Our edition was 563.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I think we could have um cut it down, not word wise, but like page wise. If we went Times New Roman 11. This is
And
12. After Treasure Island, after the first five Rich Edition classics,
mhm.
we defaulted to Times New Roman 11. And if we did that, I think Pride and Prejudice would be 530. It probably would be like 530. It probably cut out like at least 30 pages
Yeah, because you
just
can
by
get that
lowering the
pretty
font.
short. Yeah, font changes
Yeah.
so much when you look at something.
Well, you know what happened too? We look at it. Uh, so Nagemi and I were meeting one time, and I got new glasses,
Mhm.
and she was like, "Look at the books. Is is the font different to you now?" And when we were creating these, I had glasses where the prescription was from 2015.
Oh wow.
And then I opened it up with the 12 the 12 point font and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, that's got to be a huge difference.
it's no, it's still great. I love these." And Megan did a great job designing it. But that's interesting. I'm just a slow reader compared to fast reader. Um, what
As
is
long
your
as you're enjoying
consumption? Go
my
ahead.
consumption. Sorry, I was just gonna say, like, as long as you're enjoying whatever it is you're reading, it doesn't matter how long it takes you.
It's very true. And I feel more fulfilled when I do accomplish it. That's a big deal.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
because you get through it, and then you're like, wow, I finished this whole thing.
yeah, yeah. Especially a 500 page one.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
What does your consumption of creativity look like on a daily basis?
So, I am constantly consuming something. Like, I like to have music or a TV show on in the background whenever I'm doing anything, really. I have a lot of books and movies and music and art around me as much as possible. The walls in my bedroom and the office area where I write are both, the walls are covered in different things, like it's art or it's quotes or it's just little posters or little everyday things that I found I collected that they help inspire me to write and to keep being as creative as I can. I think that that's really important to try to be surrounded by inspiration. So I like to have some sort of sound as well, like music, like I said before, or movies or TV on in the background, just so I can listen to it and it helps me either write or do whatever it is I'm working on at the moment. If
How
that
often are you on social media?
social media, probably a lot less. It's mostly Instagram, and even then, I'll scroll through it if I don't have anything to work on, but I think typically the most like technology kind of thing I consume would be TV or music because it's on
Interesting.
just in the background to go on. But social media, it's really only a little bit, which is surprising, I thought.
It
But
actually is surprising.
yeah, Uh, but I really am only on Instagram like an hour at most, I think, every day. I think it's far more interesting to be consuming like a piece of media that's TV that has like a plot, something that's like long term. So like a movie
Mm,
or a TV series that's more interesting when I'm consuming like technology media. I think it makes me happier. Social media is there's so much happening, and most of it's
yeah,
just people hating on each other.
yeah. It's interesting. Um, do you notice any patterns in the art that you're drawn to?
Yeah, I think typically I'm drawn to like the more extreme versions. Like it's either really, really colorful or it's really, really dark and like depressing. I think
Okay.
especially with like famous paintings, not not so much though, because I think like it can be like overconsumption of it. So many people have looked at an art piece and yes, they're always beautiful, but a lot of the time what really gets me is like the really little things I see when I'm out. Like if I'm
Mm,
thrifting and I find all these art pieces, I'm usually more drawn to the ones that look like nobody has tried to appreciate them before. Because it makes
mm,
me feel like, oh, this is like a new moment. This is something that somebody worked really hard to do, and maybe not everyone is appreciating what they did. So I try
yeah,
to appreciate all the art around me. Like I really the dark, depressing stuff, or the really creative, like the beautiful art that's meant to be more lively and bright and colorful. But I like to feel the emotions in the art more so than whether or not somebody else is like, "Oh, this is amazing."
that's fair. That's a true artist eye, true artist feeling.
Thank you.
Tell me about thrifting.
Thrifting. So there's not a lot of places where I'm from, but I love to go to both of my older siblings live in East Lansing and they have a lot of thrift stores and cool things. And it's always fun to find something and just you can either turn it into something new or you can you can clean it up, make sure it's back to its former glory before you use it. I actually, my mom and I found this actually
Oh,
while
nice.
thrifting. Yeah, it just holds some fidgets and stuff in this little office, but it's so fun to find a treasure. You get to go out and you get to know
Yeah.
that you're not like contributing to mass landfill stuff or thing because this has been made. Somebody loved this. Now you get to love it.
So what kind of items do you um I don't want to say look for because I feel like a lot of times when you go to the thrift stores, it's like you said, like a treasure and it's like
Mm.
unexpected. But what kind of items are you open to when you go thrifting?
I'm a big knickknack person. I like to find things that are just like really interesting or weird, just stuff that maybe is like, oh wow, this is like the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like I have nothing to use it for, but I really want it. Like just these
Mm,
really weird little things. Like I find a lot of statues, a lot of like
okay.
they're baby statues, like of the little cherubs. I've
Oh,
found so many of those where I am in Midland because I guess a lot of people get rid of those, but they're so fun because you get to see these things that people they loved, they had as part of their lives, their memories, and then either you get to take it home or you get to appreciate it and move on, maybe leave it for somebody else. So I like to find little random treasures, like just I find a lot of glass things as well, like the thing I showed you, just these
yeah.
dishes. It's really fun to just find these things, even if you're not going to take it home. It's like exploring.
Yeah. What about books? Do you ever get books at thrift stores?
Yes, I love to find books at thrift stores, especially if you can find a good one, because books are
Yeah.
so expensive. And I love having books. I have so many books and most I haven't read. I need to get through still. But it's so fun to have a book. So when I go to a thrift store, I like to go through all the books. There's usually a lot of military books, a lot of Bibles. Every thrift store I've ever been to has had Twilight, every single one of them.
Yeah,
It's
I've seen
always
that one. Yeah,
Twilight.
yeah,
So there are a lot of cookbooks as well too, because people mostly get them from the internet now when you look for a recipe. But
yeah.
sometimes you find something really good, like a book that you're like, wow, I totally forgot about this series. Like I loved this book when I was a kid. I have a couple of those, and I have just these really silly books. I found a book that is definitely haunted. Um, it's called Lightning Never Strikes Twice If You Own a Feather Bed. It's got weird little
Huh.
spells in it and like chants and like, hey, if you mix these things together, you'll be lucky for a week. And it's definitely
Hmm.
haunted, which is why I bought it.
Huh. You're making me want to go to a thrift store right now.
Yeah, you gotta go. Sometimes you pick something up though and you're like, this is not good. You cannot take this because like there's something in there. There's a spirit in there. I've done that a couple times, especially with the dolls. You have to be careful with dolls.
Oh yeah. I like probably 75% of my library is books that I've
Mm,
acquired from thrift stores. It's the most thrilling feeling to like see a book that is a good book
hmm.
for $1, two
Right?
dollars. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm saving so much
Yeah,
money. Like
instead of
I'm,
$30, you get to go
yeah,
find something like, oh my gosh, it's 50 cents. That's so exciting.
yeah. And then you go up to the register and then you find out it's like half off because it's a
That's even
Thursday and it's like,
better.
what?
Like,
Half
this
off
is
with
so
$2
fun.
of this? All right.
Yeah, because it's hard
Uh,
to find like a really good book at a thrift store too, because it's mostly books that no one wants.
it depends. I feel like thrifting is a great way to test your like cultural literacy and like cerebralness and it's great for people who know what they like, know who
Mhm.
they are. You can score big. Like you said with like mass consumption and landfills, it's like most people are just buying things because they're kind of like influenced, like this is what you should
Yeah,
be
like
buying,
it's a
this is the
trend.
style, the trend. Yeah. Whereas like if you know what you want, if you know what you like, you're just like scoring left and right
Right.
at
You
thrift
go through it and you're
stores,
like,
you
oh my
know?
gosh, this is so cool.
Yeah. My other favorite thing I like to do at thrift stores is get glassware. So
Yeah,
like
that's really
this
cool.
this was 450 in a thrift store in Boys Town in Chicago, and I bought two of these.
Hmm.
I went on a walk. I lived in Uptown at the time. I like to go for walks, and then I bought two of these for $4.50 each. And then when I got back, so they were originally four. I
Hmm.
was like, I'm gonna buy two. And then when I got back, I'm like, I want those other two. So then I walked back the next day, and only one was left.
Oh no.
So I got three of these. This one is from the Salvation Army
Wow, that's
in
beautiful.
Uptown. These like liqueur glasses. I got I think originally I got actually no. You can find these in thrift stores. No, 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 yeah. These are like $1 each.
Seriously? I would have
They
bought them
look
all.
like, they look like they'd be, a lot more, but
Yeah,
um
they're beautiful. Like they look beautifully made too. Like they don't look like something you'd find in a thrift store.
yeah, glassware, oh, thrift stores are so great. I got a sofa at a thrift store
Really?
recently and it was half off because it had like
Oh,
a yellow sticker instead of a green sticker.
that's
So so I
thrift
got
store.
a fantastic sofa for 40 bucks.
Holy crap, really?
Yeah, and I use it every
That's
day. It's
awesome.
beautiful. It's like floral pattern,
Oh,
because
cool.
those are out right now. It looks like like kind of grandma-y, but it's white and it's floral. Oh, it's
That's
great.
awesome. For $40, that's a steal.
$40. It was like 75, but again, it was like half off plus tax. Yeah.
Thrift store rules. Thrift store rules. They love their yellow stickers or purple stickers.
It depends too what area you're in,
Hmm.
and you've experienced this locally, and then you said East Lansing,
East, yeah.
whereas I lived in Chicago for a long
Mhm.
time, so there's always a lot of good
Oh
stuff
yeah,
in there. And in New York, when I go to thrift stores in New York, it's another thing.
yeah. I live in a small town, so there's like not a lot of stuff. The vibes are always a little bit beige. But over in East Lansing, like it's bigger, it's a college town, so there's
Town.
always all these really interesting things.
Yeah, and if you're in a small town too, then you just don't get new supply in as
Hmm.
often. The next step for you is estate sales,
Oh,
graduating
absolutely.
to estate sales. You ever go to an estate sale?
Well, I've been to like garage sales, but not, I don't think like a legit estate sale where it's like, is that like an opening where somebody, when they're moving, they're getting rid of a bunch of stuff?
No, it's when they die. They're getting rid of the stuff.
Oh, I'll have
I
to
had
go
like a
check that out.
before COVID, I was like really into estate sales, and then you get competitive. Then there's like
Oh, yeah.
competition.
Because there's better stuff.
Yeah. And they're like essentially like say someone dies, the family or like the estate, they hire someone to then like reduce the amount of things, right? Or like
Yeah.
reorganize it. Um, so they're often willing to make deals and negotiate and um, you can really get a sense of the person based on what they own. And there's like a respect, there's an appreciation and a thoughtfulness. And I remember one time I asked for this painting, this like impressionist style painting, and I had like another one that was more like a mid-century Frank Lloyd Wright with like a silver um, frame on it. And I
Oh.
asked about the impressionist one, and they were like, they gave me a price, and they said, but you can't buy it unless you also take that one with you.
They go together.
So I was like, fair, fair. Uh,
Well, maybe the
now
guy
I'm in
never
the mood
wanted
for
them separated.
painting. Yeah, very interesting. That's hanging up in the barn actually right now, the Frank
Cool.
Lloyd Wright one. Um, but yeah, do you feel like you're more influenced by people from the past or from your own time?
I think it really depends because obviously the past is like really important. Like history is where we come from, it's what builds up to where we are now. So I think it's more of a little bit of both, but probably more so of history. People have done so many amazing things to get us where we are today, and they set up the for what kind of creative things that we can do. But at the same time, now in the present, people are still coming up with like incredible takes on something that's already existed for a long time. So I think it's just it's about the people rather than the time period it was in.
Hmm.
Mhm. So I think I'd be more inspired by what these people are doing rather than the time that they are doing it. If that makes
For
sense.
sure. Yeah, it's also easier too for people in the past, their stories are kind of ended, whereas like people today,
Mhm.
they're still writing their stories per se.
Exactly. Like things are
Yeah.
still going now.
Yeah. What's your relationship between discipline and intuition with creating meaningful work?
I think well, obviously the creativity part of it and like inspiration is really important, but I think you're never going to get anything done unless you're disciplined about it. You have to understand like it's not just going to happen on your own. You can have all these amazing ideas and then just not do anything about it. But you need to have the discipline to like sit down and like write it or draw it or do something. It's more into try to make sure that no matter what, you're still working towards it, whatever it is that you want to be doing. So I try to do the same thing and try to be disciplined about it. Like I sit down, I force myself to, even if I'm busy or don't really feel like it, I try to sit down every day and write like a certain amount of words or like, oh, I have to finish this chapter today. It has to be done. I'm going to do it. And even if I have like writer's block at the time, like I think it's important to push yourself through it. You can always come back to it later and come up with better ideas if you don't like what you've written. And I think that the discipline part is kind of like the backbone. Like creativity is so important, but you're not going to be able to do anything with it unless you understand that you need to be disciplined with it too.
Very well said. I love that so much. Um, Something that's on my mind recently is like, if you have a dream, well, your dream, I think many people have dreams. And it's like every day, just carve time in your day for your dream,
Exactly.
just to keep, it's like nothing is more important in life than your dream. Because if you're not pursuing your dream, it bleeds into everything else to
Mm-hmm.
where you start to, if you don't feel like you're in pursuit of your dream in a way,
You're kind of stuck.
pretty soon you don't feel quite as alive. You're like dying, essentially.
Yeah, I think that like you end up just kind of stagnant where you are. You're surviving, but you're not really living.
And if you don't make time for your dreams, then they just don't happen,
Hmm.
you know? And it's like if you can set aside time each day to just a
Even just
little bit that you can just lift you up a little bit, you're able to give more energy to other people overall because of
mhm.
that, you know?
And one step closer to your dream is still one step. It's better than nothing at all.
Yeah.
So if you do it every day, eventually you'll be getting there.
And it's like making excuses for not doing something that you say is your dream. It's like what's
Mhm.
more important than this? Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean?
Is it
Uh
really your dream if you don't want to do it?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
that's an
you
interesting
gotta make
question.
time for that kind of thing.
Yeah. It's like it's too important to just do when there's time. It's like you really have to be thoughtful and intentional and make time, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree.
So if someone discovered your work years from now, what would you hope them to feel, not just understand?
Well, if somebody discovered it and I think I'd want them to not just understand the text the way I wanted to, but maybe interpret it as their own. Like compare what I've done to how they're living, what they're doing, how their memories are, because, everybody lives a different life, everybody sees things differently. I wanna talk to them about like, hey, how did you view this? How did you read it? What were you feeling as you read the text or whatever I've done, like for them to like sorry, for them to have certain feelings about it, it's not my job to put words in their mouths. I want to know what they're feeling, what they're thinking, what they were thinking as they read it. And maybe if I'd want to know that I made an impact anyway, emotionally, physically, some just a way that they've read this and it did something to make them think or feel a certain way. I think that's just important to make some sort of small impact.
Love it.
Sorry, that was kind of a messy way of explaining that.
I think it was still effective. What's something you're aware that you're learning right now?
I think I'm learning more about how much patience my creativity is taking. Uh, it's because I have all these thoughts in my head, like all these ideas, all these plans, but it takes a lot more to write it out than it is to just, oh, think this and this is happening. Wow. Because it needs to come out in ways that it's actually understandable by somebody who isn't me. Make sure that it's readable, that it's interesting, that it's not just me going bam, 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 bullet points.
Yeah,
Like they need to be able to read it,
yeah.
understand it, think like it has to go together, be a legit story, it has to make sense. So I think I have to be patient and realize that I'm getting there. It's not just, oh, this is all going to happen at once. Because I'm thinking it, it's going to be on the page. It's a book now. I have to be patient with the fact that it takes a lot longer to write it out than it is to think in my head like what scene is happening.
That's so relatable. Like I think for everyone, just one, you said, I have so many thoughts in my head, and it's like, yes,
Right.
yes. And and then you have to like really filter through those thoughts or
Hmm.
eliminate the thoughts and then put into take action on thoughts.
Yeah, like does this make sense or am I just thinking about it a lot?
Yeah, and it's not just creativity wise or writing, it's like life wise, you know?
Hmm.
It's like that. What's something you're curious about recently with society?
There's a lot going on all the time, like politically with celebrities or with people, just even like closer, like locally, things are happening. I'm always thinking, like, how are other people seeing this? Just like,
Mm,
what is going through their heads at this moment? Like I see something and I'm like, are these people seeing it the same way as I? I've always thought about this. Like everybody has these different experiences, these different memories. They're all built differently. Like everybody has different genetics, different ways they've grown up, different people around them. So we all view these things so differently. I think it would just be so interesting. Like I want to know, what are you thinking? Like how is what is happening in your head while we're looking at the same thing? Because we're not thinking
mm,
about the same thing. We're not feeling the same thing. Like we're all having different reactions to these things. I think like maybe living in somebody else's head for a day, that just to see how they see the world, how they is red the same red that I think of. What do they think about this person, like rather than what they're just telling me? Like I've always been curious about like what are these other people thinking and doing?
yeah. So then how do you think of it as if we're all human beings and because of that we've experienced similar emotions to other people, um, how do you take that into account of like the universality of the human phenomenon?
Well, I think if I were really spiraling, I'd be thinking, well, what if I just am going crazy right now? What if these people are actually seeing a different color? Like, what if my red to them is purple to them? And just, but if I'm thinking logically, like not like a crazy person, I'd be thinking, of course, everybody is relating to similar things. We all understand basic emotions like sad and happy. All of us grew up. We've all gone through similar things, learning to ride a bike, eating certain foods, knowing the same people, maybe in some cases. I think uh, who we are is shaped by what we've done and how we've existed. Like, if we share the same memories, we'll probably have similar viewings on the same subject. Maybe if you've never been in like a car accident, you wouldn't have the same thoughts as somebody who has towards vehicles. Just all these little things that can be twisted just slightly makes us who we are. Like it's our memories, it's our thoughts, our ideas, our emotions. I think that really plays a big role in who we are.
Yeah, that's really well said. How do you envision growth, success, and fulfillment in your life?
I think success would be continuing to create things that I'm proud of, some to create stories and ideas to share with other people, and something that I'm proud of myself for creating, and something I'm proud of that other people will be able to read, that they'll be able to understand. And it's a good way to connect with people. I want to be constantly growing and learning and improving, rather like as a writer and a person. And I think success would be creating something that I'm proud of, that other people can connect to and understand, and eat bare minimum entertain. So for whatever I do to make somebody happy, or to have them feel like however I was feeling when I was writing it, for us, even because it's just a small connection that way. Even if I've never met the person who reads whatever I write, I think it's really important. That's how that's what success would be like, I think. Just knowing that I've done something to impact somebody else and that I made myself proud.
Awesome. Um, well, thank you. Thanks for coming on the podcast. It's been fun. I've enjoyed this
Yeah,
conversation.
me
Before
too.
we wrap up, describe describe to listeners and viewers the the philosophy of the magic in the book that you're writing. Because this is where I really like your perspective on it.
Okay. Well, the magic system in the book I'm writing, there are multiple different forms of magic that can come from the world that it is. So there's natural magic. It would be more like spirit magic that comes from spirits in the novel in the book, where they would be kind of like fairies. They're sparks. They're kind of sparks that you see until you bond with one, and then you can use their magic as your own. It's all naturally based, so it'd be like plants, water, earth, like Avatar Airbender. Um, and then there would be magic that's more mechanical, kind of like sciencey, what people create. So it would be ways that people can they create inventions and be able to use magic. It's more mechanical and scientific. They could create like I don't know how to explain this, like a light, but it's used these maybe like these magic stones or something else that would be able to create a light the same way a spirit could on its own, but it would be man-made, it would be mechanical. And then there's magic for people who have magic in in their bodies but don't bond with spirits. So they could use runes or spells or symbols like drawings to create magic, and that also wouldn't be as natural. It would be kind of yanking the magic out, whereas natural magic would be kind of working with what magic is there.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Um, cool. Well, keep on keeping on, keep writing, keep at it, and thanks for coming on the podcast. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was fun.